Mesa is a city located in Arizona, United States. It has a population of 513,977. It is the third largest city in the state and the 38th largest city in the country. It was founded by Mormons in 1878, and its first governor was George W. P. Hunt, serving a total of 7 terms. With more than 300 sunny days, fishing lakes, more than 900 restaurants, 209 parks and playgrounds, Mesa is also known for its beautiful hiking spots. That makes it one of the cities with more tourism. You definitely have to visit Mesa. If you want to know more about the history of this beautiful city, you should visit the Mesa Historical Museum, which is one of its many attractions. In this wonderful museum, you will find walls full of stories, and you will experience moments that will take you back in time.
Susan, she is the director of the Mesa Historic Museum. Hi, Susan.
Hi.
So tell me about you. What is your role here?
Okay. So I'm the director of the museum, and my role is to manage the museum operations. I also curate the exhibits. I do the storyboards and help set up the exhibits that you see. We also have somebody who designs the exhibits, and then we have somebody else who does all the promotion of the exhibit. So there's 3 of us here full-time, and then we have a part-time person who manages the collections.
How much does it cost to stage a typical exhibition at your institution?
Typically with a lot of it is printing costs for the stories that you see on the wall. So each exhibit is probably about $1,500 to $2,000 each exhibit that we do.
What is the most interesting historical fact about this museum?
The most unique fact about this museum is that it is inside of Mesa's oldest school building. So this was originally a school built in 1913. They built this school when they ran out of room in the one-room schoolhouse and the population got too big, so they built this school. So this building is on the National Register of Historic Places, and we still get students in their 80s and 90s who come and visit their old classrooms, and each one of our exhibits is inside a former classroom.
Oh, wow. How old is this museum?
Um, so the building itself is over 100 years old. It shut down in the 70s. And then we had the museum out here, I think in the 80s. And then it shut down, it moved away, it came back. So right now in its current state that it's in, we've been here for 5 years.
Um, how frequently are the exhibitions changed?
We have a couple rooms, including the one that we're in now, that stays the same because it's dedicated to the founders of Mesa. But we have an exhibit down the hall, which is our special rotating exhibit. It changes every year. We have a baseball spring training exhibit. We rotate that every year. And then we have an art exhibit, and we rotate that. So 3 of our rooms rotate each year, and 3 of our rooms stay the same.
And what is the oldest exhibit?
The oldest exhibit would be our Mesa History Room, which is next door, and as well as this. That exhibit has items from the very first settlers that ever arrived in Mesa. The old scoops that they used to dig out the canals, some of the belongings that they brought with them in their trip. And this room has a lot of their heirlooms that they saved over the years and that they handed down to the museum. So our two Mesa history rooms have the oldest objects in them.
The last one is, why should people visit this museum?
We are the only museum. Mesa has a population of 500,000 people, and we are the only museum dedicated to the history of Mesa and the founding of Mesa. So I think it's important for people that live here, or even people that visit Mesa, to come here and learn about how Mesa was formed, because I don't think most people know, that these Mormon companies came from Utah in the 70s, and then they came down here and settled this area. That we have an indigenous tribal population right next door. You can learn more about the Salt River Pima Maricopa. So, and you can see how the history of education also began. And you can also learn about how all the different cultures also helped found Mesa. It wasn't just based on Mormon people, but we had Mexican Americans, we had Chinese Americans, Japanese Americans, and we were very diverse, and we still are, and they all contributed to the founding of Mesa.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're
Thanks for your time.
welcome. You're very
And if you would like to live for a moment in another era, you should visit the Museum of Natural History. In this museum, you will find everything about dinosaurs and also the history of Mesa.
He is Michael, and what's your role here?
I build exhibits. I work mostly on the skeletons and bones. I make molds and I put the bones together. I also sculpt and paint and do whatever else I need.
How much does it cost to stage a typical exhibition here?
Typically, for most things, it costs maybe $3,000 to $4,000 in materials, and then whatever our time is. Depends on the show. So,
What is the most interesting historical fact about this museum?
this museum is the original Mesa City Court, Mesa Police Department. I believe the council chambers may have been here at one time. And there is a jail that was brought here from Yuma on a train and built into place. It's got an adobe wall around it. That's the original Mesa jail, and it's still here. And that's the oldest part of the building. This is the old Mesa jail. When I started working here, part of the museum was under construction because they were expanding it. And there was an old man, he spoke Spanish, and he was helping to clean up. And he told me that as a teenager, he was arrested with some other kids and thrown in here. So he'd actually been in this jail as a prisoner.
How old is this museum?
The museum itself is about I'm 45 years old, I believe. I've been here 37 years. And it was pretty well established when I got here.
Why should people visit this museum?
They can visit if they want a nice family experience. We have a lot of history and natural history. Not as much history now as we used to, but we still have some Native American and Mesoamerican displays upstairs and right here. Mostly it's about dinosaurs and things like that from a long time ago, and then what they call the Cenozoic, where there were more mammals, including horses and sloths, things like that.
How frequently are the exhibitions changed?
When we had gallery shows, they were changed a couple times a year. All of our galleries are full of semi-permanent exhibits now, and those will be here for about 8 years.
What is the oldest exhibit?
The oldest exhibit is going to be our Dutchman's Mind. It was built right about the time that I started, just a little bit before. And the other oldest display we just took out, so we could put in a display of Native American objects, but we haven't finished that. Rework to it,
Okay.
but some old mining equipment. There's a little guy up in there picking away. You can't see him, his lights out, but he has a little pick and he's picking. So this used to be part of the jail too, and they hollowed it out and made it was a blacklight display. Those minerals shine under ultraviolet light.
Thank you so much.
Mesa has 209 parks, and each of them you will be able to carry out many activities, from playgrounds, fishing lakes, picnic areas, areas to play volleyball, basketball, climbing areas, and more. Riverview Park is one of the largest parks in Mesa. It has different attractions that will definitely make you have the best day. Water activities are very common here in Mesa. Salt River is a very good option, and you will have the opportunity to see wild horses. Or if you like aquatic animals, the aquarium is a good option. If you like Legos, you should definitely go to Legoland. And if you prefer to walk and relax, Boyce Thompson Arboretum is the best place to do it. Organ Stop Pizza is the most popular restaurant in Mesa. It's a pizzeria that has been in Mesa for more than 50 years. It's located in what used to be a theater. Every night they do shows where they play the organ and you can ask them to play your favorite song. They do bubble shows and also puppets while the songs are playing. is also a very popular restaurant in Mesa. It is the only Colombian restaurant in the city, and it is also my favorite. This is Mesa City Hall. Here they meet to discuss different topics about the city. The meetings are made public through digital platforms. Cycling, concerts, hiking, and kayaking are the most common outdoor activities in Mesa. Superstition Farm is a farm that has been part of Mesa since 1976. It does a beautiful job rescuing animals. The farm started out as just a dairy farm. Now it has more than 1,000 rescued animals and sells its own products such as milk, eggs, cheese, and butter. They also do tours and hold events.
Hi, he's Michael. He's manager of Superstition Farm, and I have some questions for him. What's Superstition Farm?
Superstition Farm is a like a petting farm. So we have a lot of animals out here where you can come and pet them. We do different events here too. We rent out the facility, like we rent the barn out, and people get married here. We do different like parties and events.
What is something that we have to do when we come here?
Well, there's a general admission fee that you have to pay, but you just come here just to kind of relax and to kind of forget like all the things in the city, you know, the job and work and school and all the busy stuff. You just get to come here and relax and have a good time.
How old is Superstition Farm?
1976 is when they were first here. Yeah.
Why should people visit Superstition Farm?
Again, it's just a great place to like visit and just to. There's like a big Amazon building out front, so there's always stuff going on. But it's a nice place to relax in a busy area where a lot of people kind of forget to just unplug, relax, and have a good time.
Tell me something that we have to know about Superstition Farm.
Well, it used to be a dairy farm, so we used to have like a bunch of cows out back, and we used to milk the cows and make butter and cheese and everything like that. It's family owned. It's original owners, and like it's been here a long time. So we're going to stay here, even though they're building up around us and everywhere else. We're hoping that this place can stay here for a long time.
Thank you so much.
Each night in Mesa, Arizona, the largest theater pipe organ ever created rises above the audience on an 8,000-pound rolling hydraulic elevator to sit 10 feet above the 700-seat dining room. The organ has 1,074 keys, buttons, and switches linked to a series of xylophones, glockenspiels, guns, and cymbals to create the sound of a full orchestra. Nightly shows also include dancing marionettes, cats, disco balls, and spectacular light shows.
My name is Jack Bars. I'm one of the owners here at Organ Stop Pizza in Mesa, Arizona.
My name is Brett Valiant, and I'm one of the organists here at Organ Stop Pizza in Mesa, Arizona.
Tell me about this restaurant. What is Organ Stop Pizza?
Well, you know, we are a restaurant, but really we're a big entertainment facility. So we're well known for the theater organ, which Brett plays. And so it's a unique restaurant that we seat 700 people. It has the largest theater organ in the world, and we're very well known as a definite tourist attraction and tourist spot. When people come into town, you have to come and bring your family and friends into Organ Stop to have a good time. It's just a nice casual atmosphere, and it's just a great time for everyone to come in, relax, have a good time, listen to some awesome music, and eat some pizza, because everybody likes pizza.
Tell me about how born the idea to play an organ.
How did I get the idea to play?
Yeah.
Well, when I was really little, like 3 years old, I heard the organ and wanted to play, and so just always held on to that.
Oh, it is
Dream.
like a dream for
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
Okay, cool. What is this restaurant biggest achievement?
Biggest what?
Achievement.
Achievement?
Yeah.
Well, actually, I guess I would say last year we celebrated 50 years of being in business. So, I mean, that's pretty big for any business, but especially a restaurant. So to be able to be around for 50 years is pretty huge. So, I mean, that's one of our biggest things. And then I think our other biggest achievement is our, commitment to giving back to the community. We do a lot of charity work and giving back in ways, doing fundraisers for different organizations. So that's something that we're very proud of too.
How long you are here? How long you working here?
I've been here going on about 3.5 years, and before that I filled in here for about 10 years. So, yeah.
How was the idea of playing the organ in a pizza restaurant born?
Back in the late 60s and early 1970s, there were several restaurants throughout the whole country that were like this. They were just organ-equipped pizza restaurant. It was just known as kind of the pizza in pipes thing. So a lot of restaurants were doing it. Most of them, well, all of them except for 3 were much, much smaller than this. They were usually restaurants that would seat about 200 people or so much smaller. But from there, the concept just kind of grew. Organ Stop first started with a much smaller restaurant, about 350 people we could seat. But we outgrew that one so much that we had to build this big facility. So it was originally started, Organ Stop was originally started by a gentleman by the name of Bill Brown, who's passed away and he sold off to other people, but we're still alive and kicking.
Okay. What kind of pizza we should try?
I would say my top 3 favorites one is the combination, has a little bit of everything. I also like the spicy Italian. It has pepperoncini peppers and sausage on it, so that's really good. And even though I know it's controversial, I love the Hawaiian. I think pineapple does belong on a pizza.
What's your favorite pizza?
Definitely not the one with pineapple. No, I'm just the basic classic pepperoni.
Oh, good. Why do we have to come here?
It's an experience that you can't experience anywhere else. There's nothing else like this in the world. There really isn't. The largest organ in one of the largest restaurants in the U.S. And just the concept of what we do, and it's just so focused on bringing the whole family together that it's just something you have to experience. It's kind of like going to see the Grand Canyon. You have to do it.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Here in Visitor Center, we have a menu with the different things that we can do here in Mesa. We have some restaurants. We also have some events like arts and culture, outdoors activities, and sports. Golf here is very common. Golf.
Famous people do not reside in Mesa, but great actors, soccer players, and bands were born here. What I like the most about Mesa is its sky. Arizona is the astrotourism capital of America. Why? The answer is good weather, mountainous geography, and sound stewardship.